Iconic Alder Street food cart pod is no more. The carts had until midnight tonight to clear out of the city center parking lot where construction will soon begin on a Ritz-Carlton hotel this summer. KOIN 6's Jennifer Dowling is live there now after speaking with some of the last to leave. Jennifer?
Yeah, it was a crazy day of everyone trying to move out. And we spoke to one man who owns a cart here who was called the godfather of the former pod. And he tried serving his loyal customers until well past 5 o'clock today.
Have a sloppy fits, caramelized onions, and grilled cheese.
At Alton Garts, Jameson George Whitcop served up a bit of food history to his customers.
Well, and it's almost surreal. It's been a great journey. I feel very grateful for having 19 plus years on this corner.
The Alton Garts was the first food cart on Southwest Alder. He's been here so long, he's earned the nickname the Podfather.
When I started, there was myself and eventually 2 other vendors on the block. And now it has evolved into the largest food cart pod in the country that is now a part of history.
Some owners struggled to get their units out of the lot. Many hadn't moved in more than a decade.
I forgot how I did it, you know?
I have a truck that is functional on a mobile basis. I didn't have to arrange for towing. I didn't have to worry about any contingencies of frozen axles and things like that for the cart not moving for 15 years.
While we were interviewing Jameson, someone stopped by telling him the electricity would be cut.
Technically, I paid rent till midnight, right? That's city center parking.
Okay.
They're cutting my power at 5.
I can't stand it. I mean, I feel like there's things that make Portland what it is, which is hold up, keep it weird sort of thing. And this is one of them.
Evan Siegfried was one of Jameson's last customers.
Like when I first came to this town, this was one of the first places I came to eat.
He says this is what makes Portland what it is.
Now what are we going to get? A hotel? Who cares? Who cares about a hotel, another condominium? We already have a few of those, don't we?
It's 5 p.m. and they just cut my power.
Undaunted, the Podfather soldiered on with a generator, serving his loyal customers as long as possible on his last day.
It's a wrap on 19 years here. I just wanted to bring this chapter and this era to an end appropriately. I mean, being the first cart on the block, I think it's only appropriate to be the last cart serving on the block.
And if you're a fan of Jameson's cart, he says, don't worry, they have a cart already stationed in Beaverton, and he'll be driving that mobile cart that you saw down to Oregon City for the farmers market on Saturdays. He's also taking it to company parking lots to serve customers there as well, and he's booking other times and dates for his mobile cart. He's also interested in moving to the area of the park blocks that's been proposed by city leaders as a new spot for folks who are displaced here at the Alder Cart Food Pod. Emily?
Yeah, Jennifer, I know that effort being spearheaded by Commissioner Udaley is something that a lot of people are hoping will happen. But I understand there was kind of a community effort to help some of the food carts that did have to be towed today.
Yes, that's right. I talked to Keith Jones. He's a member of Green Loop, the nonprofit organization, and he said they were able to fundraise in order to get a lot of the carts towed so they didn't have to take that out of pocket. He said they raised around $12,000. He said without that money, a lot of folks here would have been lost. They might not have been able to get their carts out, some that hadn't been moved in over a decade, and they were calling tow trucks today up to the last minute to get those folks out. And some of those carts are now being stored temporarily at the old post office. They're not open down there. They're just being stored there until other lots can be found for those cart owners. Back to you.